In this video, we're going to show you to install the spare tire hoist assembly on your Nissan Frontier located above your rear spare tire. Now we're going to go ahead and access our tools to drop the spare in the back of the vehicle. We're going to open up the back door on this particular model vehicle and flip down our back seat to access those tools. On our quad cab model, you want to go ahead and drop the seat. There's a pull strap on this back beside the headrest. Pull it up and drop this down. You're going to go down behind the seat and access the tool bag. Go ahead and grab that bag. Here it is. Let's go ahead and move to underneath the vehicle. Now on the inside of that black tool bag, you're going to find 3 rods and the spare lug wrench here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and pick out the rod that has the T on the end of it here, and then grab one of the other rods that will actually connect to this. Now you're not going to need the third one for this particular task. So you want to go ahead and take this T, and right above the step pad here, there's a hole. You want to go ahead and insert this here horizontally and slide those down inside the tube. And you're going to gently turn it left and right. And you should feel that engage into the spare tire assembly here. There it is, it locks into place. Now you're going to use a lug wrench tool here. It has a square hole in it here. Going to go ahead and install that, and we're going to rotate this here. Now as we crank this counterclockwise, we should be lowering that spare tire. Now, in some cases, there may be some broken components. There may be a broken chain, or maybe the piece that holds the spare tire is broke. So you might need some assistance to go ahead and pull things apart underneath while you're cranking here. At this point, go ahead and remove the rod. Go ahead and set your tools aside. Now, on your particular model vehicle, you probably just used a jack and you're using jack stands. So go ahead and lower that spare tire down until it hits the ground. And you want to make sure you have some slack in that chain. That way there, we can go ahead and lift up that spare. And there we go. Pop that out. And normally you can finagle this up through the middle. There's that piece right there. Usually that chain or that loop right there might be broken and your spare might have fallen off, or maybe it's just not cranking. So go ahead and set that aside. I'm going to go ahead and remove the spare altogether, allowing us to gain access to that hoist assembly. Now our unit here is held onto this cross member here with 2 12mm bolts. They are on top of the beam. So I have a gear wrench on the top to go ahead and loosen this bolt. Now you can go ahead and use rust penetrant. If you need to use a little bit of heat, to go ahead and just gently warm that up, you can go ahead and do so. And don't worry about that plastic cap that just popped off, that's just held on with plastic push pins. That cap does not have to come off here, but ours just fell off, so. Now you can't pull the bolt out all the way with the wrench because, well, it hits the bottom of the bed. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop that bolt out of my wrench. I'm just using a small chisel tip here just to try and pop that out. Go ahead and pull that out. Now I reach up there, grab the bolt. I'm going to go ahead and repeat for the other side. Once we remove that other bolt, this whole unit will drop down out of this cross member. I'm going to do the same on the other side here. We did use a little bit of heat on ours because it was a little rusty. Now, if you're underneath this like we are, and you're undoing this last bolt, hold on to the unit because you don't want it to drop down and hit you in the face once you get that last thread released. Also, one of the most key things to be doing here is wearing safety glasses. Safety, safety, safety. You get a piece of rust in your eye, you're going to be in trouble. You got to remove that bolt and set it aside. Now, installing your component, you want to make sure that the chain is fully extended out. We went ahead and cleaned our bolt and we put some anti-seize compound on the threads. When putting this up inside, make sure that the T-bar section here is facing back. And we're going to go ahead and drop a bolt in, feed this up, and see if you can get that started by hand. You can reach up in there. And then we'll try and get that other one in there. Just got to get it caught a couple threads. There we go. And once you have that caught, go ahead and just grab your wrench and let's go ahead and tighten that down. Now, if you don't have a box wrench, an open end wrench will work as well, but the box end should help prevent it from stripping, causing any issues. Now, you can't get a torque wrench in there, so you just make sure that this is good and tight. Get that on there. Now we have the spare tire underneath. Go ahead and feed that in. All right. Pretty much when we crank this up, it's going to go ahead and lift this tire up. So at this point, let's go ahead and put that rod into the back above the bumper and go ahead and start to crank this up. Now don't forget to install your little horn here per se. This lines up the shaft when it comes through. If yours fell off, go ahead and line that back up here. And there's just plastic push pins that secure this in there. Push those in. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to feed that rod through. going to feed the rod through. It's going to come through underneath, and you can see the rod come through with the T. It goes right inside and directs it right into our tool here. I'll go ahead and start to crank that clockwise. Let's get that locked in. There it is. And as we crank it, you can see that chain start to pull that up. Now, as this comes up, you want to make sure that that tire seats flat. It's going to pull up at an angle, which is totally fine. And when you're tightening this here, you want to make sure that that spare is snug up against the bottom of the bed. Go ahead and remove your tool. Disassemble it. We're going to put all of our tools back into our carry bag, put these underneath or behind the back seat. And then we'll go ahead and remove the vehicle from the jack. And at that point there, you're all set.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.